What's up, guys? This is Kyle from Wax Museum, and I am ready for opening night in the NBA. So I was trying to think of a video to do in conjunction with that, and I thought that I might talk about 5 of my favorite storylines heading into this NBA season. And then, as you can see here, of course, I'm going to show you some cards that go with that. Now, one of the storylines I'm really intrigued by is Cooper Flag, because I think he's the real deal. Unfortunately, I don't have any Cooper Flag cards yet. Hope to have some very soon, but that's one that I didn't want to ignore, but I didn't really have anything to represent it. Something I do have cards for, though, is, and these are in no particular order here, but LeBron James. What is going to happen with LeBron James? We know he's hurt. We know it's not an injury that easily goes away. I don't think he wants to retire anytime soon, because otherwise he'd be doing this whole, retirement tour. Like, there would definitely be some fanfare associated with that. I think that's pretty characteristic for LeBron. I say that I like LeBron, but he would want something like that. So I don't think we're going to see retirement stuff yet, but I do think it's going to be a struggle for him to get through this season. I mean, he's 41, right? So we're starting to see signs of aging and signs of him slowing down a little bit. It doesn't change the fact of what he's done. It's just been incredible. So I got a couple more LeBron cards here, too, I want to show real quick. That was a game-dated patch, as you saw. This is a Panini Excalibur Knights Templar parallel, and this is from 2015. This is the second year where they did these in Excalibur, but the 2015 ones are a lot harder to track down than the ones from 2014. Real tough parallel. It's just silver on the front. It's got foil on the front instead of the regular base card. But a lot of people just call it silver. They really don't know what they have. And then I love these old threads inserts with the jersey cutouts. They did those for a while and changed it up in, I think, 2018 is when it went to like a full card. All right, the next storyline that I'm intrigued by, Jaylen Brown as a true number 1. And I think I've probably been higher on Jaylen than a lot of people I know or my Celtics friends that watch him on a more regular basis. But I'm curious what it's going to look like giving him the keys to the car. And I say that knowing this Celtics roster is pretty gross right now. So I've got a game-dated patch for him here. The game night jersey set. I also have this X Factor, a brown swatch here, like a tan swatch. I think that was the St. Patrick's Day shorts. But anyway, I'm curious to see what Jaylen Brown and the Celtics will be like. And I'll also say I hope that Jason Tatum doesn't push to come back as early as he's discussed. I think he needs to sit out the full season. Wishing the best for him, but I don't want to see anything that would jeopardize the rest of his career moving forward. Okay, this next storyline, there's a lot of cards that go with it because it's kind of a more generic storyline, but the West teams are stacked, right? What is going to happen in the West? So 2 teams in particular that I'm interested in. We've got our defending champs, Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, they look strong again. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So, what did they really need to add? What could they add? They couldn't. They're pretty much just stuck with the roster they've got. But stuck has a negative connotation. I mean, they won the NBA title. And then Denver made some pretty big upgrades to their bench. Traded Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Thomas. I think those are some really good moves. They have a real backup center now in Valanciunas. So I'm really curious to see what that's going to look like. I think that if the Nuggets don't get it done this year, then that may be it for their window. And I don't want to dismiss them too early here. So I'm pretty excited, though, to see that because I do like watching Jokic. Another West team, so this is still part of the same storyline. I've got 2 Kevin Durant cards here, both jersey numbered. So this one's 35 out of 99, and this one's 35 out of 100. What's going to happen with the Rockets? I think the Rockets are pretty stacked as well. And then an aging team that I don't think is going to do amazing things, although I think they're going to be solid. It's just a lot of really good veterans. I just don't think they'll hold up over the year, is the Clippers. I'm not so much concerned about their performance as I am what's going to happen with Kawhi and this whole aspiration angle, because it's pretty sketchy, right? It seems like the league should definitely punish him and the Clippers pretty severely. I don't think they're going to, just because, and I don't want to get into a lot of conspiracies here, but I think there's more of this kind of stuff that goes on than we know. And I don't think the other owners want him to really dig too far into that. So they'll probably go lighter on the Clippers than they should. And look, I still love Kawhi. Like, I'm a huge Kawhi fan. I always have been. All right. Number 2, I think the Giannis stuff is going to get pretty interesting. This is a 2018 Spectra patch, numbered 3 of 5. It's actually the nose of the Buck from one of their alternate uniforms, just flipped upside down. So it'd be like that. You can kind of see the nose. But anyway, I think the Giannis stuff is going to get interesting because I thought it was resolved, and then he went back to the press and he opened things back up and, doing the whole, well, or 6 or 7 months, we'll reevaluate it, to which the Bucks then immediately signed another one of his brothers. And that, it just seemed like a counter move. And that's just a dangerous spot for a team to have to operate from. And I understand why they're doing that, but he's laying the groundwork for him to leave and to not be a villain in the process. He's trying to do that as best as he can. And you know what? I don't blame him. Look out for yourself. That's the nature of the NBA these days. But you can't always have it both ways. So I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out. And then the last storyline here, this one's obviously of more interest to me. Not the biggest NBA storyline by far, but what do the post-Turner, Haliburton-less Pacers look like? What's their identity look like? In the preseason, they wanted to run. They wanted to press. I just don't know if they have all the personnel for it. I hope so, because that was a really fun brand of basketball to watch, really selfless brand of basketball to watch. Vegas says they're going to be under 500, but they've still got some really serious guys like Siakam. Like, they're not going to tank. Siakam's not going to tank. Nembhard is going to take things very seriously. But they have been hit very hard by injuries. So, like, McConnell is out for at least a month. Quentin Jackson's out. So some of their lesser guards, which they would have to rely on now, are not going to be ready. So who's going to step up for them, and how is that going to shape up? So, we're going to see Aaron Nesmith is headed towards a possible extension. Well, he's going to want a lot more money. He deserves a lot more money. And then you got guys like Isaiah Jackson coming off of an Achilles injury. Same thing with James Wiseman. How is that going to pan out? So anyway, those are 5 storylines, I guess, plus Cooper Flagg. So that's an honorary mention. 6 storylines that I'm thinking about heading into this NBA season. I'm very excited for it. Feels like the last season just ended, but I am more than ready for this season coming up here. So let me know in the comments which storyline you're most interested in, and then hopefully you'll get a good season out of your team as well. So good luck to everyone. Remember, there are new episodes of the audio podcast that come out every Thursday. And as always, thanks for watching.